Okay, so we are on the way to my third swimming session, and dare I say it, a little bit excited. I cannot lie. I'm a little bit excited for today's session because it's going to give me another opportunity to get this timing right. It's a game now. I no longer am fearful of the water. Well, probably a little bit still, but it's a game now. It's battle of the fittest, battle of the strongest. Who's going to give up first, me or the water? And it damn sure ain't going to be me. But yeah, looking forward to today's session. Not get myself carried away or anything, but last week was positive, and I am very much looking forward to getting in the pool and seeing if I can make a little bit more progress with this arm, leg, breathing, timing situation, because as I mentioned last week, my brain is not geared towards, sorry about that noise, it's just a big fuck off lorry right next to me. Loud noises! My brain is not geared towards being in a pool and swimming, so although I feel like the confidence is up a little bit, I do feel like my brain is still going to be a little bit skittish in the pool. So hopefully we work on some breathing today and some technique. I know that's what Margaret said anyway, so fingers crossed she's not a liar. But oh, and also hopefully this video isn't bouncing all around the place like that, because last week I checked the video footage and it was so shaky. Then I checked the stabilisation settings and they weren't turned on, which would be why it was very shaky. So fingers crossed this isn't too shaky today. But a good thing about fear, and this is really the message that I'm trying to get across to you all really, is leading up to the first session, I was absolutely bricking it. And you should by now, in 3 weeks, have heard the change of tone in my voice. I've gone from, and I've even heard it myself, I've gone from being a nervous wreck, shit myself, worried about what's going to happen, to actually feeling and sounding much more confident, which is a true testament to fear and what it actually is, because it was all in my head. Everything, it's a little bit like flying for me. I've got a fear of flying, and it's not essentially the fear of flying, it's this illogical, irrational thought that I have that when I get on a plane it's going to blow up mid-air. Because you get fucking plane's going to explode! And so far it hasn't happened, and it never will. And that's a little bit like swimming for me. I thought I was going to drown. Well, that's what I thought in week 1, and then that fear died down a little bit in week 2. And week 3, I know that I'm not going to drown because I'm 3 weeks in. So if I was going to drown, I would have already. And that's the thing about fear, you see, is if you let it get the better of you, it will. And when it comes to progress, when it comes to trying to be better, when it comes to trying to do things that you're not confident or comfortable in doing, when it comes to running, you see him? Or when it comes to doing things that you're not confident in, not comfortable in, have struggled in, don't particularly like, are scared of, you've got to go and do it. If you want to get better at that thing, you've got to do it. You've got to put yourself in a situation. You've got to put yourself in a firing line, because I'm proving to you firsthand. And this is all I've ever tried to do with fitness. Obviously, fitness has become this big thing now where everybody's trying to prove how great they are. But the message to all of you here is that I'm showing you I was scared of doing something that I knew I needed to do. And despite all the fears, all the concerns, all the doubts of doing that thing, and it just so turns out that actually I'm better at it than I thought I was. And because I'm now better at it than I thought I was, which has given me confidence in that thing, I now realise, well actually, it's not that bad. It's all in my head. I was building it all up in my head. And that is essentially fear in a nutshell, is if you can get over that mind fuck of you can't do it and you just go for it, you realise a lot about yourself. And so all those self-limiting beliefs that you put on yourself, really, it's just a myth. It's just up to us to go out there and prove ourselves wrong, or prove ourselves right, depends on how you look at it. So I'm here now. So yeah, like I said, I'm excited to do today's session. I'm interested to see what we're going to be doing. Margaret said it was going to be breathing and arms, so one can only hope that it is breathing and arms. But if it's not breathing and arms, I am the student, so I will listen to every single thing that Margaret tells me to do, and I will try and do it to the best of my ability. Right, we got good news and we got bad news. The good news is your boy can do breaststroke now. Oh my god! Wow! And Margaret was actually getting me to be the demo for the group, which was fun. It's all about breathing, swimming. That's what I'm learning. It's life really, isn't it, when you think about it? Life is really all to do with breathing. If you're stressed, breathe. If you want to train properly, breathe. If you want to swim properly, breathe. That's what I learned today. It's all about breathing. Movement patterns I'm very good with, because obviously I've been trained in how the body moves. So picking up the way that breaststroke moves, today we worked on breathing, and essentially I was moving everything at once. And it's really breaking down breaststroke into two parts. Here's your arms and your legs. Your arms move first, and then your legs move second. You breathe out underwater, you take a big deep breath in when your arms come in. And I pretty much got it on the second or third try. To which point, Margaret was like, you've got it, just keep repeating that. The bad news, your boy kicked too hard on that first kick, and I felt something go pop in the left side of my groin. So I might have my first swimming injury, believe it or not. I've made a swimming friend, called Ken. Oh, friend! Ken is 76. Ken can't swim. Well, Ken can swim, but Ken hasn't swum in about 55 years. So I thought I was going to be the oldest one in the swimming pool. Turns out I'm actually the youngest. But Ken says, you got to warm up. You got to warm up. So although the warm up for me was to get my head underwater, I'm actually okay with that now. So my warm up's actually going to have to consist of proper, like, getting my hips and my groins and my adductors and my abductors warm. Because that first kick, boy, I'm telling you, that first kick, yeah, we were in a bit of problems because my leg's fucked. And I usually train legs on a Wednesday, and I can tell you right now, I will not be training legs tomorrow. Obviously it depends on how I wake up, but I can feel it now, it's pulling. I'm hoping I ain't I don't think I've torn anything because I can still walk. Long story short, when I used to play football, I tore the left side of my groin twice. That's probably why it's more on the left side of my leg. I also realised, although I'm right-footed and right-handed, my left side is actually my dominant side. When I'm training, my left arm's stronger, my left side's stronger. What I've noticed when I'm kicking in the pool, I always kick with my left leg first. So yeah, slight little issue there with the left side of my groin. It's not my groin really, it's my adductor. So the inside part of your thigh. I trained legs last week, Wednesday, so it wouldn't be that. I intentionally put my leg sessions after swimming because stupidly, I didn't think that swimming was gonna be, well, I mean, I knew it was gonna be taxing on my body. I just didn't think it was going to be that aggro. Turns out your boy's got stronger legs than he thought, and he's fucking nearly ripped his leg off trying to do a breaststroke. But the good news is that today was actually a really good lesson. Ken also told me when the practice pool is not in use, and I can use it whenever I want. Although I've put my name down on a waiting list for one-to-one swimming lessons, I'm probably going to go down maybe one more day in the week where I get to use the pool. Probably not now because I've done my leg in. Fingers crossed it's not that bad. But if it's not that bad, I will be going down during the week to use the pool to practice my breaststroke. Margaret was like super chuffed. She was buzzing. Even more buzzing than me, to be fair. She reckons I can start doing front crawl now, but I don't want to just move on just yet. So probably keep myself in a breaststroke, I reckon, until the end of September. Injuries permitting, because I'm hoping, I'm really hoping that this ain't nothing serious, because just as I'm getting in the flow, see, this is the lesson here. I always try to leave these vlogs with a lesson. Maybe we should call this words of wisdom at the end of the vlog. Just as you're in a flow, just as you get yourself going, you get over the fear, you conquer the fear. I've spent 30 years in fear, managed to get over the fear, start feeling good, and then bang, injury. It's very easy in times like this to say fuck it and quit and jack it in. Like, that's what a lot of people do. They start going, and then there's a little hurdle, and then it's shit, and what's the point? But that's not what it's about. That's not what progress is about. That's not what trying to accomplish something is about. If you are naive enough to think you can start something new, or start anything, to be fair. Old Ken ain't swum for 55 years. He can swim, he just ain't done it for 5 decades. Just, if you think that starting something new or starting something up again is going to be this plain sailing, smooth transition that is easy and there's no issues, then you're a fool, because that's just not life. And it would be very easy for me now, you know, like I can feel my leg, it is hurting. It's hurting quite a bit. Well, it's not hurting, it just feels like tight. So I'm hoping it's just severe cramp. It would be very easy for me to jack it in now and go, do you know what, fuck this. Swimming's too hard, I'm injured, what's the point? It's fucked up my training, I can't train legs tomorrow now, fuck swimming. But no, that's not the way that my brain is designed to work. So what I will do now is I will focus purely on recovery. So obviously I can still train upper body, but I can't train lower body. So I'll rest my leg for the rest of the week in hopes that I can go back into the pool on Tuesday. I'll obviously do my warm-ups when I'm in the pool. But yeah, my brain will now be going into recovery mode. So I mentioned this last week on IG stories stories. A client of mine felt something twinge in his shoulder, didn't let me know, carried on, and it's got worse, and now he's not training for 2 weeks. I will not be doing the same thing. I felt a twinge in the left side of my leg. Hopefully it's nothing and I wake up tomorrow morning and it's gone. But if it isn't, it will be operation recovery. So everything I do will be geared towards making sure I am fully recovered and fully ready to go next week. And it's not about rushing it. It's not about being down because I've got a little bit of a niggle. It's not about that. It's part of the process. Like, you have to understand that, you know, hurdles are part of it. It will show you how bad you really want it. I really want to learn how to swim. So nothing bar a bullet in the brain is going to stop me. And this little niggle is going to be a part of it, isn't it? You know, it's exercise. You're going to get injured doing exercise. You'd be stupid to think otherwise. So yeah, we will see how this feels in the morning. But today was really, really good. I'm not going to say I'm proud, but I swam 10 lengths, but half lengths. So if that was a main pool, it would be 5 lengths. So that's pretty good, all things considered. And that was literally, I did my leg, the first kick I felt it twinge. So if that hadn't have happened, maybe I would have been able to do more. But anyway, that doesn't really matter, does it? All things considered, it's good. 3 weeks ago, I was shitting myself, and now you can hear in my voice that I really am actually looking forward to my next lesson. And if my leg is better, if I wake up tomorrow and there's oh no, I just felt another twinge there, oh, that's not good, oh dear, oh yeah, this is not going to go away anytime soon. But I'm really got the bit between my teeth now, and it feels good. I am proud. It is an accomplishment. I mean, I won't be fully proud until I can do like 10 lengths in a pool. I mean, if I could do 5 after 3 weeks, I'm sure I'll be able to do 10 in like 2 or 3 months. But I am proud because, you know, a lot of life is really about overcoming adversity. And that's just kind of what I'm trying to demonstrate and show to everybody, really, is that it's less about thinking that everything has to be perfect. And it's more about realizing that even if you try your best, there's still going to be things that try to get in the way, and inevitably will get in the way. You just have to learn how to overcome it. And swimming, for me, and the fear of being in the water and having my head underwater, is something that I can slowly feel I am overcoming, which is a great feeling, because that's one less thing that I now have to be in fear of and be limited by, and it now offers me another option of exercise, whether that be physical training or cardio or for fun or whatever. You know, the ultimate goal for me is to be able to go on holiday and jump off a boat into the sea and not worry. And I feel like I am one little bit closer to that. So that's what it's about, really, at the end of the day, is progress, development, building confidence. Like I said, saying you're going to do it, then committing to doing it, and then eventually doing it. And I feel like I am on the way to doing it. So with that said, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your comments from last week. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. It helps me massively. I will see you all in the next one.